Today we're going to review how to solve systems of equations by graphing. So let's get started. So basically for the steps to solve systems by graphing, you're going to solve each equation for y. That means basically you are putting the equation into slope, intercept form. And you may remember slope-intercept form as y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. That makes it very easy to graph, and so that's what we're going to do. So you put each equation into slope-intercept form, and then you graph them on the same coordinate plane. After that, you're going to find the solution. And there are three types of solutions. You can have one solution. One solution is when you have your lines that intersect somewhere. Where they intersect, that spot right here, that is the one solution. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So one solution will intersect. Intersect means cross. So the solution to this one looks like it's about 1, 2. And that's how you do it. All right, that's not how you do it. That's how you know if it has one solution. Sometimes it has no solutions. No solutions means it does not intersect the two lines. When you have no solutions, that means the lines do not intersect. And the word for two lines that do not intersect is parallel. So if the lines are parallel, they will have no solutions. So you can write like that, no solutions. Okay? And lastly, you could have infinite solutions. Infinite solutions means that your lines are actually the same as each other. So they go over top of each other, like that. So infinite solutions are the same line. The equations might look different, but they are actually the same line, and you would write that as the infinity thing. All right, so let's do two examples of how to solve a system of equations by graphing. All right, here we go. Now remember, these could have one solution, no solutions, or infinite solutions, and we will see as we go. So step one is to solve each equation for y. We're going to put each equation into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to write them side by side just because that's how I prefer. And now I'm going to go through and solve for y. So when we solve equations, we like to draw our line down. We want to get this y alone. Okay, we're going to want this y alone. So we need to start moving everything away from it. Starting with the negative or 3x, we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. That cancels it off of that side, leaving us with 2y. And this side we cannot combine. These are not like terms. So I'm going to write minus 3x minus 8. Okay? Still, we have 2 times y, so we need to divide both sides by 2, every term by 2, in order to have y alone. Y equals negative 3 over 2x, and negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. All right, so this one is now in slope-intercept form, and now we're going to do the same for this one. Again, we want the y alone, so we're going to start with the things farthest away and move them. We're going to subtract x from both sides. So now we have negative y equals, these are not like terms, so we cannot combine, negative x minus 1. Now we have negative 1 times y. That's what negative y means. So we're going to divide both sides, each term, by negative 1. Now we have y equals negative, and negative is positive, so x plus 1. Okay, we now have both equations solved for y. And just for a little review, we're going to pick out the slope and the y-intercept from each of these equations to help us graph. All right. The slope is always the term that's multiplying with x. So the slope of this one is -3/2. The y-intercept is the constant term, so it's -4. Over here, the slope is the number in front of y, or x. Remember that there is an implied 1, but we like to write our slope as a fraction, so we'll put 1/1. The y-intercept is the constant term, so we'll put a 1. All right, we are ready to graph. So I'm going to draw. We only need one coordinate plane because we're graphing both on the same one to see where they intersect. All right, so here we go. For this equation, I'm going to outline it in pink. We know the y-intercept is -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to put a point at -4. And then we know the slope is -3/2. I'm going to write that over here just so we can kind of clarify. This means down 3 and to the right 2. But you can see we're going to fall off our paper. So you could also write it as up 3, backwards 2. Okay, so we're going to choose this one because we can fit that on our graph. So we're going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, backwards 2. You can actually see how that's going to form a negative line, and so that's super important. We're going to connect those. Let me find something to connect them with to form our line. Okay, so that's line number 1. Now we're going to graph this one. I'm going to outline that in light green just so we can follow what we're doing. The y-intercept, that's where we begin, is at +1. So on the y-axis, we're going to go up to +1. The slope is 1/1, which means up 1 to the right 1. And we have space for that, so that's what we're going to do. Up 1 to the right 1. Okay? And now we're going to connect those two because 2 points make a line. All right, how many solutions does this have? It has 1 right there, okay? And so the final step is to write the solution as a coordinate pair. Right there is -2 for our x coordinate, -1 for our y coordinate. All right? Hopefully that was a good example. Let's do the second example. Again, this is a review, and you are welcome to try this example on your own and then check your answer or use it however will benefit you the most. Here we go. Step 1, we want to solve each equation for y. So I'm going to write my equation side by side. Hey, look, this one is already solved for y, so that's awesome. Let's look at this one. Okay, we want to get the y alone. So we're going to start by moving everything as far away as we can. X is here, so we're going to subtract x from both sides. That means 4y equals. These are unlike terms, so we cannot combine. All right, -4 times y, so we need to divide by -4 every term. So now y equals, and we have -1 over -4, so that's +1/4x. And 8 divided by -4 is -2. Okay, this is now solved for y. This one was already solved for y. And so now we're going to take a moment to pull out the slope and the y-intercept just as review. All right, remember the slope is the number that multiplies by the x. So the slope of this one is 1/4. The y-intercept is the constant. So this one, the y-intercept is -2. Up here, the slope is +1/4. And the y-intercept is 3. Now, I know already that this is going to have uh, no solution. I know that this is going to be parallel because the slopes are the same, and when lines are parallel, they have the same slope. Because the y-intercepts are different, I know that these are never going to intersect. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the answer is going to be no solution. However, I'm going to show you on a graph what that looks like. Okay, so again, we only need one graph because we're going to graph both on the same coordinate plane. All right, let's look at this one first. Y-intercept -2. The slope is 1/4. That means up 1/4. We have room for that. So we're going to go up 1/1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to connect them. All right, let's look at the other one. This one. Y-intercept was 3, so on the y-axis, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. And the slope is 1/4. Up 1/4. Up 1/1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you can see these lines do not intersect. They are parallel lines, and so the solution is no solution. All right, enjoy. Have a wonderful day.